quarantine with CorinthTeens daily Devo. We're so glad that you can join us. We're doing our student leader Devos right now, and Avery King is going to help us by talking about how to improve in our faith. So here's Avery.
I work to improve recently here in my running. I'm a long distance runner, and I was working at the beginning of this school year, middle 2019, to try and get my cross country time down under 20 minutes. So in cross country, you run a 5K, 3.2 miles, and I wanted to get that under 20 minutes. So I worked every day, getting up early, 6 in the morning, to go run with my friend Caleb up at my school, so that we both together could reach this goal of having a 5K under 20 minutes. So we worked, and I felt like I kept getting discouraged because at every meet I would get closer and closer, but I never broke it until my last meet of the whole season, the state meet. I started the race really early in the morning, around 7 o'clock. The sun had just come up and it was cold. But we started running. Me and Caleb were on the middle of the pack because, we're not the best runner, but not that bad either. We made it to state. So we ran, and it was a 2-lap course. So you run the whole thing once, and then run it one more time, and then go through the finish line. So we did that, and right before the finish line, my coach was standing there, and she's yelling at us, 19 minutes, you're at 19 minutes. So me and him, we kicked it. We started running as fast as we could to get to the finish line, and we finished. His time was 19:18, and I finished with a 19:23. That felt good for me to improve. But, improvement's not always just on physical things. Like, whatever you do, you can also have like a spiritual improvement. So spiritually, we need to improve, get things better that we sometimes don't have. So in the Bible, there's this guy, he was named Saul. Later he became Paul. And in Acts 22, Luke is writing, but he tells of Paul's story, and he says, Paul persecuted this way, meaning Christianity, to the death, binding and delivering to prison both men and women. Paul would go around persecuting the Christians of the area that he was around, and either killing them or just throwing them in prison because he thought that what they were doing was wrong. But eventually, it says a few verses later in Acts 22, starting in verse 6, again, Luke telling the story of what Paul has told him, says, "As I was on my way and drew near to Damascus about noon, a great light from heaven suddenly shone around me, and I fell to the ground and heard a voice saying to me, 'Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me?' And I answered, 'Who are you, Lord?' And he said to me, 'I am Jesus of Nazareth, whom you are persecuting.'" And now, when at that moment Saul saw that he had a drastic change, and he had been going after and persecuting all the Christians of that day and age, but he decided that day, a little later on, that he was going to change his ways. He was going to go from persecuting Christians to becoming one, and he became one of the most influential people in the Christian faith during that time period. He even wrote 13 epistles, which are now in the New Testament. He probably wrote way more, but they just haven't made it into the Bible. Now, not everyone's gonna make a really big change like Paul did. Not everybody needs to. Not everybody's going around killing Christians, and if you are, maybe it's time to change. But there's some, for the new Christian, there may be some things that you don't know, or maybe you're not a new Christian. Maybe you're just maybe feeling a little slow in the faith, or you're not doing much to improve on your faith. There's some like small things that you can do to help improve it, and you can start off with maybe looking at how much are you reading your Bible, because if you're not spending a good amount of time in the Bible every day, you may not be seeing things that you need to improve on. So if you're maybe not reading it at all during the day, maybe start with 5-10 minutes. Or if you are reading 5-10 minutes good, maybe bump that up 15. Or start reading some Bible plans, like on the YouVersion app on your phone. Other things you can look at, how much are you praying? Because to have a relationship with someone, you usually have to talk to them, right? So prayer is how we talk to God. So maybe we need to look at how much are we talking to God, and then maybe not right now because we're in the midst of this quarantine and social distancing, but maybe start with looking at, are we actually serving the others around us? Maybe right now we can maybe go ask if you have an elderly neighbor, or just a neighbor that is timid and scared to go out during these times. Maybe you can go ask them to, if they need anything from the grocery store, go get them some groceries. And it's all about the small things that help you improve. All the small things that'll add up, help you improve drastically in your faith.
Great words, Avery. Appreciate that. Here's the question for y'all today. What can you do to improve your faith? That's it. How can you improve? Hope you'll answer that. Hope it'll be good for you. We love you, and we'll see you next time.